Coming up on Texas Parks and Wildlife.
He came at it at 1,000,000 miles an hour. I mean, I don't know, it's kind of like playing golf a little bit, where you have different tools and you have to adapt to the conditions.
This snake is harmless. They're completely non-venomous. They don't attack people. In fact, they're major rodent predators.
Eisenhower State Park has a wealth of outdoor education programs.
What we're really trying to show people out here is the brutal reality of infantry combat.
Texas Parks and Wildlife, a television series for all outdoors.
This series is funded in part by a grant from the Wildlife and Sport Fish Restoration Program. Through your purchase of hunting and fishing equipment and motorboat fuels, over $40 million in conservation efforts are funded in Texas each year.
Additional funding provided by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram.
It's Friday night, and that means football, the ultimate high school sport here in Texas. Or is it?
I felt it, and it got real heavy. Set the hook, and it just popped.
Colt Anderson and Jonathan Gray are at practice.
Got him?
Oh. These two are part of a high school fishing team.
When I first started out fishing, I mean, you start out with the Zebco, right? Everybody starts out with the Zebco or spinning reel. And then you start throwing these bait casters, which will really help me out next year in the tournament. Oh, got one.
They are fine-tuning their skills for the upcoming season.
Oh boy. You don't have to be the biggest kid or the tallest kid or the most athletic kid to be a bass fisherman. It's all about your knowledge.
Oh gosh, did you see that? He came at it at 1,000,000 miles an hour. I mean, I don't know, it's kind of like playing golf a little bit, where you have different tools and you have to adapt to the conditions. Yeah, little guy, but he's a fish. You can never become perfect at fishing.
A good one.
And so that's kind of the cool thing, you can always improve. Yeah, it's a pretty healthy fish. He's been sitting in this hydrilla for a while, so nice little fish.
This tournament, we expect in excess of 80 teams participating.
It's March on Lake LBJ, and it's time for the State High School Fishing Championship.
Both high school and collegiate bass fishing have exploded in about the last 5 years. There's competition, there's scholarships associated with it.
Thank you.
But more than anything, I think it's a bragging rights.
Colt and Jonathan are considered two of the favorites.
We want to target the larger fish, because this tournament on this lake, typically it takes larger fish to win.
Yes, ma'am, we should.
Traveling 5 hours from Carthage, Texas, are Marina Collins and Mia Sarter.
Thank you.
They are the only female team in the tournament.
It is very intimidating. It's hard being the only girl team out there. But we're cool. We got this.
I don't know. I've never done this before either. It's my first too, so
we're gonna represent.
Yeah.
We started talking strategy, but that's confidential.
Oh, come on.
It's tournament time. Colt and Jonathan head for some of the lake's boat docks and slips. Marina and Mia check out a quiet bank on the south side of the lake.
I think it's going to be a good spot because how shallow it is, because I think they're getting in the shallows to start making the reds for spawning.
This is my first year, so I am a little scared. And then you just gotta relax and chill. Just go with it.
For Marina, her hero is always a step away.
I had to have them. I've had them for a long time. Wonder Woman, she's powerful. I mean, she can stand up on her own. She knows how to handle stuff.
While it's tough going for this dynamic duo,
Oh, that is a keeper. Oh, this looks so good.
by the boat docks and slips, Colt and Jonathan see all kinds of action.
You see him? He's right there. He's right there in front of the boat.
Is it a good one?
That's a 3-pounder.
3?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's a 3-pounder. 3 or 4.
Ooh, there we go. Ah, man, he's a keeper. Gosh, dang it.
Those keeper bass are sitting on spawning beds.
It's lighter than everything else where the bass has cleared out all the silts and all the little sand, and they've left the rocks there so that it can hold their eggs. Here we go.
Nice.
He came back and nailed it.
Yeah, he did. I watched the whole thing.
And I'm not sure if he's a keeper, but it's a fish. Yeah, he's too short.
That was sweet.
I think the keys to winning the tournament is finding where the fish are and what they're going after.
Unfortunately, the fish here never seem to be too interested. And that's okay.
I like to do it because I can get out of the house, have fun, and you learn something new every day.
Ooh, I think that's the furthest I've cast yet. That felt good. It's really cool being in this club because you get to meet a lot of different people, and we're all one big family. And that's really good to have friends that you can be really close with.
Throughout the afternoon, the boys can see some fish.
Oh, there's another one. There's another one.
There is?
But can't seem to get them to bite.
Man. He likes. Oh, he didn't bite. He got it.
Ooh. Oh, man. Gosh, dang it.
The adrenaline. I love the adrenaline. Any cast you make can be a big one. That's what I like about it. Oh, got one. Oh, it's a good one. 5-pounder. Please stay on, please stay on, please stay on. Yeah. What is that? You ready to get him?
Yep, I'm ready.
Please give me the net. Please give me the net.
Oh, my God. You got it. That's bigger than 5. That's bigger than 5. That's a 6.
It's a giant.
As the tournament wraps up, for Marina and Mia, there are no fish, but there are plenty of smiles.
Today really didn't go as well as I thought it would, but we had plenty of fun. I mean, almost falling off the boat a couple times, but we still had fun.
Is that yours? Whoa! We need to get him over to the aerator quick. Yeah.
Other anglers have some serious game.
Oh, yeah, some big fish caught today.
All right, coming up next, we have Colt Anderson and Jonathan Gray.
For Colt and Jonathan, both know they didn't catch enough to win.
It was a rough day. Rough day on the water.
6 pounds, 10 ounces.
We were expecting to do a little better today.
Looks like they got a monster in there. 3 fish, 14 pounds, moves you guys into second place. 23 pounds, 11 ounces. 32 pounds even, your new leaders.
32 pounds for the win.
Oh.
Which I'm sure will stand.
I don't think anybody gets that.
Well, we thank you guys for coming out. Glad you guys enjoyed your time out in the water.
No, we'll be back.
We'll be back.
Yeah,
Stronger than last time.
Definitely. Probably see some shad sitting up here.
So in between tournaments, it's back to Lake Pflugerville for some more practice.
This is probably the lake I get to fish most.
Some just sucked it down.
Just because it's so close to where I live. This is where I've caught my biggest fish, and this is where I really enjoy fishing.
It's always good to keep fishing just so you keep your mind straight.
And as far as this fishing team sport idea, it seems to be catching on.
Me personally, it was just another way to be competitive. Oh gosh. Let's get up here. There's a little guy.
And the cool thing about us, we like open up our minds and find new friends.
Got him?
Oh my God.
I mean, you don't have to be 7 foot tall and
Bench 280.
Bench 280 to fish. I mean, look, Colt. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hi, I'm Andy Gluesenkamp. I'm the state herpetologist for Texas Parks and Wildlife, and today I'd like to talk to you about the Texas rat snake. The Texas rat snake is the most commonly encountered snake in Texas, and they occupy a wide range of habitats. This snake is harmless, they're completely non-venomous, they don't attack people, in fact they're major rodent predators, hence the name rat snake. Probably the best way to tell a rat snake from a venomous snake in Texas is to look at the head shape. Pit vipers, which includes copperheads, cottonmouths, and rattlesnakes, they tend to have a very chunky head with steep sides to the face, whereas if you look at the head of a rat snake, the head tends to be more rounded and less angular. This snake is in the process of shedding. During that process, we call them in the blue. The individual will get an opaque color to its skin, its eyes become milky blue. It's not sick or injured, they just need a few days to find a quiet place to hang out while they shed their old skin to reveal a new fresh layer underneath. Rat snakes get a bad rap. They're large snakes, they're frequently encountered, they're not particularly friendly, but I'd like to point out that their primary diet is mice, rats, and other rodents. That's a pretty beneficial snake to have around. So, 3 things to remember about the Texas rat snake. They're the most commonly encountered snake in Texas, they're completely harmless, and they're beneficial.
Here at Eisenhower State Park, there's 6.5 million potential visitors living down the road in Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. And the kids down there could stay there and be concrete jungle kids. But what we try to do is do something to intrigue them, to tease them, and to do something to bring them up to the North Woods up here at Eisenhower State Park.
The boys just love to be out on the water playing around, so we can sneak in some good outdoor skills, some scouting basics, and have a lot of fun out on the lake too.
That tastes delectable.
I think a lot of the life lessons are learned around the campfire. When you get away for a little bit of time and you're in a tent, it's getting them away from where mom or dad are taking care of them and they get to make some decisions for themselves.
We've got a wonderful swimming hole out here. The geology of the area is set up just right in between 2 bluffs. It's a nice sandy bottom, smooth, goes all the way out. Having a big marina in the middle of a state park is very unique. If you have a problem with a boat or a problem with something, they have certified mechanics down there that can work on that. They've got ice right there at the dock. They sell bait. The services that they provide down there, campers need on a daily basis.
Look at that cardinal. Isn't it pretty?
We've got natural forest out here. You can come out and you can hike the whole trail or you can bike the whole trail. We've got some prairie restoration areas up here, some remnants of the tall grass prairie. Eisenhower State Park has a wealth of outdoor education programs, everything from a ranger-led hike to campfire programs. We try to structure programs around the needs of the visitors.
Beautiful. Beautiful cast, beautiful loops.
Today our event includes free casting lessons.
There.
Because Eisenhower State Park is a wonderful place to go fishing. Lake Texoma is a great place. And it's all about the wonderful fishing opportunities that are here at Lake Texoma.
There's a bunch of fish down there.
The person that comes out here and doesn't catch a fish is the one that just needs to come up and talk to myself or one of my staff. We'll turn them on to where to go catch a fish, many times showing them exactly what we've been catching them on. We've got over 5 miles of shoreline and a wealth of knowledge to share with you where to go fish, swim, put your boat in, go out on the lake and enjoy. We're in our third generation of campers and park visitors here at Eisenhower State Park.
Whoa,
The neat thing about it is we are the closest campground, closest marina to a major highway. These people can leave busy lives behind down in Dallas and be up camping or be up at the marina in 55 minutes.
This is the best part of Texas, and Fredericksburg is probably the best part of Texas. Today, Fredericksburg Main Street is nothing but shops. One thing I like about Fredericksburg is that normally it's a quiet town. After 5 p.m. in the afternoon, they roll up the sidewalks on Main Street. Except on some weekends, it's a pretty loud, boisterous. I'm a veteran of World War II. The Island Assault reenactment, it has a real value. We should remember, as we watch these reenactments, the sacrifices that have been made so that we may maintain the freedoms we have.
My name's Jeff Hunt. I'm the Curator of Collections and the Director of the Living History Program at the Admiral Nimitz National Museum of the Pacific War. The Nimitz Museum exists to honor the men and women who served in the Pacific theater of World War II and to teach the lessons of that period of history to our citizens today so that they can use those lessons to be better citizens of our country and of the world. What you guys are looking at here is a diorama that we built depicting the Doolittle raid on Japan. As you know, for the first 6 months of the Pacific War, every place we fought the Japanese, they beat us. One of the best things about being the curator of collections is that I get to meet the veterans and their families. I get to receive their artifacts into our collection, touch those pieces of history, and then turn around and put on this uniform and educate people about that history. And as far as I'm concerned, I've got the best job in the whole world. Good morning. My name's Jeff Hunt. I'm Director of the Living History Program here at the Admiral Nimitz National Museum of the Pacific War. In World War II, every Japanese officer would have carried one of these things. This, of course, is the famous samurai sword, the weapon of the ancient Japanese warrior class. What we're really trying to show people out here is the brutal reality of infantry combat as it existed in the Pacific theater of World War II.
I'm going to talk to you today about the Thompson submachine gun. This is the model 1928A1.
We're bringing to life something they've only seen in movies or documentaries. We're trying to give them a sense of the power behind a tank or a flamethrower or even an infantryman's rifle.
This is the BAR, Browning Automatic Rifle, 30 caliber. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
We are able to bring into the here and now the physical presence, the smell, the sound of what infantry combat was like. We make it something alive. That's why it's called living history.
This matter here, I will now demonstrate firing of the BAR.
My name is Ned Smith. I was a senior grade lieutenant in Naval Air Transport Service. The Naval Air Transport, their mission was to transport both personnel and materials to the war zone. When I graduated from high school, some of my classmates went directly into the military. But within a very short period of time, we get a report they're missing in action, lost in action, you know. So that even though we felt indispensable, there were some of us that were not going to come back, you know, to civilian life that we had left. So. The National Museum of the Pacific War here in Fredericksburg is really important, primarily for the youth that have heard nothing about World War II, or some get a little bit of history in school, but not to the depth that they should. Youth should never forget the sacrifices made by those that have fought both in Europe and in the Pacific theater.
Island Assault 1944 is the living history program put on here 5 or 6 weekends out of the year by the living history detachment of the museum. At an Island Assault demonstration, we basically have all the weapons on the field that participated in those last 2 horrific years of the Pacific War. We want to hit people in the face with the brutal reality of what infantry combat is. Infantry combat is about killing, then it's about destruction, and it's about being better at those things than your enemy, because it's only by killing him that you come home. It's only by killing him that you take islands, and only by taking islands that you won that war. And we want our visitors to walk away having learned that what they see in the movies and the video games and the comic books is not the truth.
You know, you look at the age of these young reenactors, and many of them are about the same age of those that were serving during World War II, and brings me back to thinking about the sacrifices made by many of my friends that giving up their lives so that we could have what we have in our way of life.
Myself, all the volunteers who are part of this program are out here because they want to honor the veterans for what they did. They want to educate the public about what the veterans did so that people can go off and take that knowledge and be better citizens.
Great show.
Thank you. Appreciate it. You know that you've done it right when a veteran comes up to you after one of these shows. And sometimes you can just tell from the look in their eye and their handshake that you have done right by them, that you've told it the way it was, you've told the truth, and you have told those men and women, thank you for what you did for mankind.
This series is funded in part by a grant from the Wildlife and Sport Fish Restoration Program. Through your purchase of hunting and fishing equipment and motorboat fuels, over $40 million in conservation efforts are funded in Texas each year.
Additional funding provided by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram.